come back to that one. Hey, we're live, I think.
We say that.
We do, don't we? Every week we go, hey, we're live. It works.
It's like magic. It's like magic. Yes.
How are you today, Neil?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad. We're having to self-isolate in Braybrook Towers. It's just one of those things that's happened, unfortunately.
In Braybrook Towers.
Braybrook Towers, yes.
Yeah.
We're having to self-isolate here, and yeah, it's been interesting. Everyone working from home.
It's a good job that you have those 30 rooms to spare in the Braybrook mansion to go around, which as I'm saying this, you're looking at me going, you're talking a load of rubbish. We're falling over each other and we're ready to throttle each other.
We may have all these rooms, but we only live in a few of them, you see. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
We don't want to heat the whole house.
Absolutely. So you're managing to cope and just having to isolate. That's the way it goes. You know, there's others of us that have had to go and get tests, so we're just waiting to see. But thank goodness for Zoom.
Yes.
But to lighten the mood, do you want me to share with you my craziness of this morning? What I did.
Then. What have you done? What has Mike done?
It's something that people who wear glasses will recognise all the time, Neil.
Go on then.
Do you know that moment when you get up in the morning, you put your glasses on, because if you don't, you won't see where to get out of bed. It's kind of that level we're at, or you'll walk into the wall or the wardrobe or something. So I put my glasses on, thought, great, I'll go and have a shower. Got in the shower, and as I put my head under the shower, I thought, you idiot, you've still got your glasses on. And it was just kind of, I was giggling this morning thinking, you Wally, but you just forget you're wearing them. And it then made me think about when I was living in Germany next to the pool. They used to have like a stack, where you could take your glasses off and put them in while you went for a swim.
Yeah.
The theory was great. And in Germany, people weren't cheeky and swapped them around. They just left them there. And the theory was great. But when you got out the pool, could you work out which glasses were yours? It was brilliant. But yeah, so this morning I had a shower and my glasses got a nice clean. But I'm sure others wearing glasses will recognise that and have done similar silly things.
Is that because your glasses are quite transparent, aren't they? Whereas mine, I've got a nice big black rim which goes around them.
No, the issue with mine is if I take them off, I can't see a blooming thing.
So if you take them off,
you
can't actually find them.
Yeah, I can't see it. It's really difficult.
It's like, where did I put them? Where did I put them?
Absolutely, that's why I have to put them in the same place every time. It is so funny. I've not done the one yet, where you forget you're wearing them, or as people do who have two ones for reading and they put them on the head and then wear my glasses.
Yeah, well, I used to, as you know, I'm a plumber, so I used to lose pencils, but they used to be behind my ear. I'd be searching everywhere, and someone said, it's behind your ear. Oh, right, okay. And when you got really busy, when I worked for a plumber's merchant, I used to have a pencil behind each ear, because that way, then you never ever lost a
kept you
pencil.
Balanced as well, I guess.
It did, but the thing is, though, people would nick them. They'd come up to you and go, can I just borrow your pencil a sec?
That was, you're saying that. One of the things I spotted on TV this morning, actually, was somebody chatting about people not being aware of others around them and pickpocketing and things. And he said he met a former pickpocket who would stand by the sign at Euston Station that said, beware, pickpockets operate in this area. And he said, as people saw the sign, they'd check where the money was still in the pocket they kept it in. And he said, this former pickpocket would say he'd watch them do that, then go and nick it off them. So he said a lot of it is about being self-aware. Don't give yourself away. And they were saying the police in London as well have been putting leaflets in bags, open bags, just going, this is a police notice. Be grateful it wasn't a pickpocket, because we could have been away with your stuff.
Well, it is. I mean, it's really frightening how, pickpockets, I mean, how good they actually are. Keys, wallets, phones. I mean, obviously, a lot of people now with phones, they have earbuds in their ears, so they don't have the lead, but you can tell they have a phone.
Yeah, because they're
chatting away.
Yeah.
So, and I remember
I've not got to that technology yet. I've still got the phone.
Have you? Is it a big brick one?
It's not as big as it used to be. I've still got, it's an Android, but do you remember the original mobiles that were kind of?
I've got one in the loft. I'll tell you what. If I can find it, I'll bring it down next week.
Next year.
Next year, yeah.
It's 9 days to Christmas, isn't it?
It is. And it's quite exciting actually. The buzz around town is quite exciting as well, because a lot of people are having to cram in everything they would normally do in November and December into 1 month. So it'll be interesting to see the projections with the shops to see whether or not they've actually managed to recoup from November what they've lost, because a lot of people, and they are queuing outside the shops as well. And fair play to everyone, they are trying their hardest. I was in Halfords the other day, and I asked an assistant, I said, I need a windscreen wiper. And he goes, well, 2 meters, 2 meters. I go, oh, sorry, yeah, because you just forget. You know, I had a mask on and everything, but it was no, 2 meters. But it was, people are trying their hardest to do it. So it's like, yeah.
It is, and I think that's the thing. You know, we've seen it come out right today. Were you born in 1970 by any chance?
I was. This is if Tim is watching, this is not one of Tim's mugs, okay? This is a fake one, all right? And it was my birthday in January, okay? And this is, I don't know, it gets used every day. So it'd be interesting to see if one of Tim's mugs, okay, goes like this after a while. He will say no, it won't. But yeah, I think we need to get Tim on to plug his mugs in January.
Yeah, we've got to have Tim on from Images to show us some of his mugs.
Yes.
Anyway, we were saying, I forgot what we were saying now before you distracted me.
Christmas!
But people do shopping for Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, people do the shopping for Christmas, and they are trying to stay that distance apart, aren't they? But we've seen this week that new the new strain in London that they've said that's now being tested at Porton Down, and that's affecting people. And I think it just makes it more important than ever, doesn't it? Really, just to make sure you stick to the basic rules of hands, face, and space.
And also the other
Yeah,
I mean, the other frightening thing, of course, is the fact it's already mutating. You know, so it's mutating now into something else, and in a 6 months' time, it could mutate again and again and again, and you could end up with all these different strains. I know the schools now being hit
and there was big style. And I heard something again on the news that was saying, yeah, we've got the vaccine, but it's going to be at least 12 months before people have generally been vaccinated, and then it may have mutated. So it's just, we've got to learn to live with this and learn to accept the need to keep space from each other, and keep washing our hands and keep our face covered. It's key, isn't it?
It is. And
absolutely.
You know, but well done to everyone out there, because I know you are all trying so hard. There are still a few people who don't wear masks, and who do go the wrong way down the one-way aisle in Camberley town. But majority of people, they are trying to abide by the rules, which is fantastic.
And we're gonna have a guest in a minute whose office overlooks some of the places in the square, who's probably got something to say
about.
He hear us?
Can we talk about him?
I don't know if he can hear us in the waiting room, but we felt we ought to bring Dan Adams on, because we've been teasing him for the last 2 or 3 weeks about pushing the button on the thing. So we thought we'd better bring him on. But he's made a bit more of a Christmas effort than us, hasn't he?
He has. Well, our Christmas show's next week, so he's got in early. He's got in early.
He has got in early. I've got to remember now how to bring him in out the waiting room.
You could delete him, and he might have to re-sign in again.
I know. I've just got to remember how to do this. This could be interesting. Oh, hang on. If I go into participants, there we go. Admit him. I've got him. There we go. We were just having a debate, Dan. Do you bring people in out the waiting room all the time, and I had a moment where I couldn't remember how to do it.
How are you?
At least you've remembered to unmute yourself this time.
That's good.
Not making that mistake again.
Very embarrassing. On Sunday morning, we started the service, and I'm getting people say on the live stream, no sound. And I realised, being the person who was clicking the buttons, I'd gone live, but I'd not unmuted. So embarrassing.
That's what makes it live. It just makes everything real.
It does make it real. So how are you today? And I see you sat next to your tree, and you've really gone into the spirit of things.
Yes.
Of course. But was I the only one to get the memo about the Christmas suit today, guys?
The man in the suit, Christmas suits. Look at that. That is amazing. That is,
I was going to ask a real question, though. Are you just wearing the jacket and tie, or have you got the trousers on as well?
I have the trousers on as well.
Come on, stand up then.
You're not wearing shorts.
Yeah. Surprise.
Oh, he's got the trousers on as well. Brilliant.
Look at that.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Do you actually walk around town wearing the suit?
Of course.
Do you get stopped and looked at in strange ways?
Even this
No,
morning,
that's without.
I walked from one side to the other through the square, and the chap from Vodafone called out as I was walking past. So, nice suit, mate. I was like, oh, thank you very much.
Surprised you haven't got a sign on the back saying sponsored by Conquest.
There we go.
That, you know, Neil, guess what Dan's printing this afternoon?
I know.
So, Dan, we were just talking about the fact how busy town is and people are doing the shopping. You've got a bird's eye view there, haven't you, of the square? So how are people behaving in the town centre?
Do you know, the vast majority, I would say, are, you know, paying attention. They are actually social distancing. But it just seems that there are some people that still can't either keep to the left or keep to the right, or just they're oblivious to those signs. You know, you can walk around a corner and suddenly somebody's literally, you know, centimetres away from you. You know, it's just trying to get that message out there to people. You know, just follow these rules, and we can carry on doing what we're doing, even though it is slightly restricted. We can still carry on. You know, if people carry on missing these kind of rules and not following these, we will be locked down again. You know, and it'll affect everyone.
And that makes a big difference, doesn't it? It's following the rules, keeping safe. And there's the review today, isn't there, of the tiers?
Yes.
That'll come out tonight. And sadly, Surrey Heath has been having more cases in the last week, which is quite a shock, really. But it is difficult. But we brought you on to talk about social media.
Let's raise the profile, shall we? Let's get out of this dull thing. Let's talk about positive social media. Okay, Dan, positive social media.
I was just going to say before we go on that, have you seen the ornaments on Dan's Christmas tree?
Well, there's a lot of social media pictures.
Yeah, so he's gone for the conquest colours of red and blue, but it's also got the various social. I see Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest.
Yeah.
Does anyone use Pinterest anymore?
I don't know.
No.
You know, my wife uses it.
Oh, okay.
It's more of a. I think it's more of a an ideas thing. So that's very much like a cork board. So she'll put ideas in there for, you know, house decorating or wallpaper ideas, or really jobs for me. That's what it's doing. Pinterest jobs for Dan. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Dan's list. Yeah.
So sorry, go on, Neil. You were asking a question and then I rudely interrupted. Go for it.
I can't remember what the question was now.
It was about the importance of social media in.
Yes. Yeah. So social media, obviously, so Facebook is huge at the moment, and because of this pandemic, it's become even bigger. Instagram, it's still there. There's still an age thing with Instagram, and it's that instant, you know, it's done, it's dusted, that's it, and then you move on quite rapidly. So what in your eyes, what's been the biggest social media platform really to come out of this, as obviously a social media guru as you are?
Well, you know, each platform is very different for each business of how they actually use social media. So, you know, if you're for example, if you're a restaurant, Facebook is going to be your go-to. Whereas if you're a B2B company, it's going to be more LinkedIn. So, you know, various different clients I've got use different platforms and put their energies into one platform over another. So,
can I just stop you there, Dan? Can you just explain to our viewer, because they probably won't understand, what's B2B?
Sorry, yeah, business to business. So I'm just thinking marketing terms constantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, B2B is if you have a product that you sell to other businesses, so you don't actually sell to a consumer. So there's two types of sale, whether it's a B2C, which is business to consumer, or B2B is business to business.
Okay, thank you. Right.
Thank you. I've learned something today as well. It's brilliant.
So a business to business company will use LinkedIn purely for the fact that somebody that's looking for, I don't know, for example, a payroll service isn't necessarily going to be looking on Facebook for for payroll, whereas LinkedIn is more of a business community, and that's where they'll find that. Whereas somebody that's selling to the direct public as a consumer they will use Facebook, they will use Instagram and Twitter. I suppose both.
And of course, I mean, I've seen it. I use Facebook for all my businesses, and I've seen it in the past 3 months that Facebook has evolved dramatically. Now they've got a menu on there, you know, so you can put your menu on there. They've got so many aids for companies. They've obviously before the pandemic, Facebook I think was actually dying off a bit, but it seems to have had a spurt of life.
Well, I think that a lot of it did come down to greed, I think, with Facebook as well. If you went back to 2015, if you were a business that had, let's say, 100 followers, and 100 followers went on to Facebook on that day that you put a post out, they would see that. They would see all of those.
Yeah.
And then they cut it down to 80%. And then just before the pandemic came about, they were down to something like 62%. So suddenly that's a very, very low number. But then they relaxed all of that throughout COVID. So suddenly the reach that each company was having into different homes was through the roof. So exactly what you say, yeah, that would make perfect sense.
And have your clients, you know, certainly over this period, I guess customers now are turning to the internet first before they're going into shops. So they're looking on for recommendations on Facebook, on Instagram, on the various platforms to see what's going on. And then they'll potentially go out to the shop. So you're seeing an increase of people kind of connecting with the businesses you support.
Without a shadow of a doubt, you know. But also, if first of all, if we talk about the first lockdown, the very, very hard lockdown where everybody was at home, nobody was going out anywhere. Yeah. Suddenly businesses overnight had to transform. You know, they had to change exactly how they were. And one of my clients is Sandra, the Indian restaurant, which I'd probably say if you went pre-COVID, it was probably about 95% of his business was walk-in diners as opposed to the takeaway. Overnight, he had to go to 100% takeaway, but obviously his regular users wouldn't have known that he was able to still offer that service. So we had to suddenly change all the messaging to say, yes, it's available. Yes, you can order it and have it delivered to your home and this, that, and the other. But he also wanted to do a thing in giving away free meals to emergency service workers during that time. So again, he was able to use social media to suddenly reach, you know, people that were working at Frimley Park, people at the fire station, the police, and, you know, all of those, to be able to say to them, you know, please do pop by after your shift and have a curry to take home with you, you know. And again, he ended up through that, and that was purely social media, he ended up giving away just shy of 1,000 meals during the first lockdown.
Wow. Yeah.
But, you know, he sent me a picture one day because where he is obviously on the road round the corner here. And he sent me a picture where there was a queue and there was 2 ambulances, a fire engine and a police all parked up.
But that's brilliant, though, because that just shows the positive impact that social media can have on the community and also in businesses. And I think that's been I don't know if you'll agree or not, but when you've had businesses during this year that have really struggled, it's because they've not engaged with the internet, they've not engaged with social media, their business model in some way hasn't adapted quick enough.
Exactly. And it's all about, I mean, everything evolves constantly anyway, but this year businesses have had to evolve so rapidly, you know, changing into something that they necessarily wouldn't have used before. You know, I did see some companies, well, the one in particular, that had a notice in its window saying takeaway available. And I was thinking to myself, do you know, that's not going to work for you because
nobody's
walking past. So nobody's actually going to see that. So, you know, it's very sad if a business isn't able to adapt to these changes. And these changes are going to be here for quite some time now, you know.
And I think that was I remember chatting to you, I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, at the start of the first lockdown and when it was crazy, you know, you did struggle with some of your clients and you lost some business.
Definitely.
But they then saw the need for it, didn't they, and came back.
It's one of those things. I mean, in business, the first thing to go, I know it sounds really silly, the first thing to go is your advertising and social media, because you think, how can I survive? I need to get rid of all this. And the first thing I did as a plumber, I cut all my advertising because I wasn't getting the money coming in to pay for it. And you may think that's ludicrous, but if you haven't got the money there to pay for it, then it's just so unfair. And with Facebook, obviously you can do it all yourself. You can, you have a company like yourself. And the thing is, Dan, you're a very generous person as well. I've noticed you are always giving out advice, free advice to people. Do you feel that sometimes it's like, I shouldn't really be doing that, but
no, do you know what? Whenever I meet with a potential client, the first thing I will always say to them is, I don't do anything magical here. It's literally, it is a case that you can do this yourself if you've got the time. A lot of the clients that I'll meet are very close to their own businesses and sometimes too close. So trying to dream up something daily to put on their, they just think, oh, nobody's going to be interested in, like you mentioned the plumber there, nobody's going to be interested in this blocked pipe, when really they are. People are interested in the strangest of things. But, it's just having that time. So, somebody could, you can do a lot of your own stuff. You could clean your own office, but 9 times out of 10, people won't. They'll have a cleaner come in to do that because they don't have the time to be doing that themselves. So it's just outsourcing another service, really.
It is, but you don't need to have a cleaner though. That's what you got Harry the apprentice for,
Exactly.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but it is. How is Harry doing?
How is he doing?
He came to you during the lockdown, didn't he, as an apprentice?
Yes. Yeah. He came on board the 1st of September. So yeah. And
have you managed to kind of shape him and get him in line already?
Yeah. Well, you saw the stick.
Yeah.
So that he's learning now.
Is he sat on the desk just to your left there?
Around here, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for something to come flying across in a second.
What's it? I mean, I work with my daughter and that, and sometimes it can be a bit fracas with decisions and things like that. Does he do as he's told, or does he sort of say, well, hang on a minute, Anne, what you need to do is, or does he call you Dad?
We had this conversation, and it hasn't really even come up. I think he must call me Dad, I think so, but we haven't really noticed. But it is quite. I really like it. I really like working with him as my son, and it's actually seeing him change as well. In terms of actually understanding social media and understanding, because all different clients have a different tone of voice. How we write tweets or Facebook posts or whatever, it's always a different tone depending on their particular client base. So teaching Harry about tone of voice and how it's different to how he would talk to his mates, for example, is quite interesting, seeing him changing very quickly actually, and how he knows different things.
That's just brilliant. And it's I've just got this image of him going, yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir.
I was going to say, is it
not going to happen, is it? Because that's not you anyway, Dan. So it's brilliant. But it is brilliant that you're able to do that. And there was something else special that happened this year, wasn't there? You were made a fellow of something, was that right?
Yes, fellow of the Chartered Institute of Marketing.
I've kind of really dumbed it down there, but it is a really impressive honour to be a fellow of anything.
Definitely.
Is spectacular. I know certainly through my time in the army, I'm a member of the Chartered Management Institute. I can't even say what it's now. The Institute of Chartered Management and various things. And to go up to the next level of fellow, you have to do so many different hoops and so many interviews and conversations. It's a really difficult thing to do. So congratulations, Dan. That's just amazing.
Does that mean you get to wear robes and you go to dinner once a week, once a year?
No, that's Harry Potter.
I think that's what happens.
Yeah, he's got a certificate there, and you have initials after your name, don't you?
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Fellow.
FCIN.
FCI, and it's just brilliant. And you're one of the only social media companies I know of locally that have got that. So that's absolutely brilliant. So congratulations. It must put the icing at the cherry on what's been a really rough cake of a year.
Definitely. But it's, when they were interviewing me about it and actually talking about what I'd done throughout my career in marketing, and they were asking me about digital marketing. I was trying to think back about my first role in digital marketing, and it feels like it wasn't that long ago, probably 15 years ago, I suppose. And that was actually designing adverts for teletext.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
So from that, of colouring in tiny little pixels, but then having to put an arrow to them saying green or red or whatever, then I had to fax that to Teletext, where they then spent 2 days redrawing it all, ready to actually put it live on the televisions.
So you were drawing little squares, were you? As
Yeah.
all little tiny. Did you have like a grid sheet
That's
paper
it.
that you had to? Wow.
But because it came across, you coloured it all in, then you had to write that it was green, red, or whatever colour, because by the time you faxed it, it came across in black and white.
Black and white, yeah.
Well, can I just say there's two things that some of our listeners are going to have to Google here.
Yeah.
One is, what is teletext? So Google that if people are watching and not sure. And the second is, what's a fax? So again, Google that if you need to do that. But that goes back a long time, because teletext, I used to remember spending hours sat watching teletext or CFAX.
On a carousel, on the old carousel system. But the thing is, though, teletext holidays is still about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teletext holidays is still there, because apparently they used to give the best holidays ever. I don't know why, but they used to get, money wise, they were really good, work.
So you've really developed them from doing that all the way to social media now, and having a huge
actual journey just over. Well,
Yeah.
I'd say that the first digital presence would have been probably 15 years ago, in terms for travel companies, especially.
Yeah.
15 years is not a long time, to go through so many different things. Like, for example, websites now. People do have websites, but what Neil was mentioning earlier about Facebook having so many different elements to it now that are available. A hairdresser, for example, can have an appointment facility within Facebook. So
yeah.
Do people actually down the line, our website's going to become a yellow pages? I just don't know how it's going to.
I think websites. It's like that shop window, isn't it? The website's a shop window, so it's that security. Oh, they've got a website. So they must be quite good. They have a website.
Yeah.
The fact that you can put one together for practically nothing.
Exactly.
But it's just like a business card, though, isn't it? Really.
This is it. Yeah. This is it. This is where I speak to clients as well about having a social media presence, a regular social media presence as well. Exactly what you were saying, Neil, that anybody can throw together a website and make it look phenomenal, overnight. However, people that, if you haven't got a regular social media presence, people don't actually know whether you're a real company or you're not. Whereas if they can scroll back and see, oh, look, once a day they're putting something up, it just gives that little bit more trust, I think.
It does, and it makes the public aware of what's going on. Because I know certainly Highcross's website, we update every week with the services. Yeah. But the social media, there's things on 2 or 3 times a day. Yeah. And it's just really good to keep that presence going. And I know you were commenting how good our reach is on it, but it's not through any design. It's just through getting the Highcross known out there and being involved in the community.
Exactly. And you hit the nail on the head there with the word community. That people, I speak so many times about community to different people, and people think of a community as to where they live, but there's actually a lot more. People are normally part of maybe 10 different communities. They have their Facebook community, they'll have their neighbours, they'll have their church group, all those different groups that they're part of. They're all communities within their own right.
I mean, the Highcross community, it's worldwide, because we have people from Germany, from America, who are obviously, they were brought up in Camberley, or they have family members in Camberley who belong to Highcross. So they're sort of in it as well. So, you end up with a whole worldwide community.
It's brilliant. And I think that you're saying about community, Dan, certainly during the pandemic, it's added a new level of support networks for people, because you can be part of a global community, or a community that has similar issues, and bounce off each other. I've just done a video this morning for Pride in Surrey, because that's a support community. I'm a member of Band of Brothers, which is those that were injured in military service, and we just keep each other going through the banter and the quips and the if you're struggling, you can put out there, I'm really struggling. At 2 o'clock in the morning, somebody will come back and go, you're all right, mate, I'm around, you want to chat?
Do what you're saying there about community as well is, and in reference to the first lockdown, I really noticed a big change in people's mental understanding of community as well. But yourself, that Sarah and I used to live in Spain, when we first moved back to the UK, the one thing that we noticed was that strangers didn't really speak. You know, you'd walk down the road and you wouldn't necessarily speak to somebody that you were passing coming the other way, which we'd been very, very used to in Spain. But then as soon as the lockdown happened and we were going out for our daily walk, suddenly it didn't matter. Obviously, you're giving people plenty of space, but as you're walking past them, everyone's saying, "Oh, morning, evening," and and it was such a lovely thing. And that I've noticed has continued. So that's a really positive thing, and you must notice that as well with your community work.
Well, it was like it's been like going back to the 1930s, you know.
Yeah, I was just going to say I think both of us have noticed it. The only thing that's changed since the first lockdown is nobody's shooting Nerf guns at you, darts at you as you go past Highcross. But
in a fun way, though, there was, you know, that had a very good meaning, really. I mean, but when we were obviously in the first lockdown, to explain to our viewer that basically Mike would walk around with a Nerf gun. If you got too close to anyone, he would get shot with a Nerf gun, and it ended up with everyone else bringing Nerf guns in. You'd have like Nerf gun wars, and it would be, you know, you'd have a bunch of adults running around Highcross.
not even just in Highcross, Neil. I was just minding my own business walking down Portersbury Road when one flew out from the church.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who that would have been. There was another occasion as well, though, Dan, wasn't there, where I ran out. I was wearing shorts though and a polo shirt. I just didn't have time to put my shoes on, and came running out towards you and Sarah and nerfed you. But it was great fun. The only downside was I started this, and the downside was everyone then bought their own Nerf guns.
Yeah, and they were big.
They were, and I was the common enemy. It just wasn't nice.
We had massive Nerf guns, but the funny thing was, it was like once someone had shot all their bullets, they'd be like, "Can I just pick them up, please? Can I just have my bullets back, please?"
Yeah, bullets back, please.
Yeah.
But you're right about community. And my office is in the front of the house, and people walk past, and I see people walking past, and the amount of times people will wave at me. You know, as they walk past, I think it's lovely.
Yes.
We have got that sense of community now, which is great. But thanks, Dan. I've just realised we've been going longer than half an hour, so say thank you very much. I just want to.
I've just got to say something. You know, every now and then I've heard the music, Dan, playing through your window. It seems that happens quite a lot. Is that true?
Happens a lot. That is thanks to you two advertising people to go down and push that button.
So if people aren't sure what we're talking about, outside Poundland and House of Fraser, there's a wonderfully, I think the best way to describe it is a family bubble.
A family bubble, yes.
A family bubble, and you can press the button and it plays a wonderful tune. They've also put in there, thanks Joanna and Rhoda, a post box, Christmas post box with a soldier next to it. So if you post your letter to Santa in there, it plays a wonderful tune as well. And Dan absolutely loves these tunes, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to miss that come January.
I'm sure they can come up with something else.
I'm sure we can think of something. I just want to know, Neil, we need to work out how to access that balcony when Dan's not in so we can plant speakers or something.
Oh, that would be funny, wouldn't it? Little speaker inside, yeah. Well, a smart speaker, yes.
Yeah. But it would be great. And the only thing, Dan, have you seen Mrs. Brown's Boys on TV?
No.
You've got to watch it. The Christmas episodes, the Christmas tree always does something silly. And I've been sat here waiting for your Christmas tree to start singing or something.
Either that or Doctor Who, it starts spinning around.
Or spinning around or something. So yeah. What's your favourite Christmas carol, Dan?
Good King Wenceslas.
And how's your singing?
No.
It's Good King Wenceslas is wonderful because it's one of those wonderful tongue twisters that after a few mulled wines gets really difficult to sing.
It's too early in the morning.
It is. Anyway, thanks, Dan. Have a fabulous Christmas and Merry Christmas to Sarah as well.
Yes.
And Harry, of course.
Okay.
Take care, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, it was great to see Dan. So if you're passing in the square, press the button on the snow dome, and the Christmas box. Post your letters.
And smile at Dan. Give him the thumbs up. Just turn and press the button.
And smile. Just wave at the Conquest Consultancy office above Timpson's there, and he'll be really grateful for you pressing the button. So just, because we've been going quite a while, it's probably worth summing up, isn't it, with a couple of things that are going on locally.
We need to talk about the community. Sorry, very, very quickly. First of all, I'd like to say well done to everyone. Watch It's have been doing their local community hero awards. I think there's 5 of them, wasn't there? And they've all been handed out now. These have gone out to people who went above and beyond during the lockdown. And Lisa and also Kel have been going round about delivering the awards. Obviously, social media, not social, socially distancing when they do it. So
5 awards, which is just wonderful. So well done to everyone who got one.
Yes.
Real sense of community down there on Watch It's. And also today, what's happening in Watch It's and the Old Dean is the food stalls on a Sunday, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's worth mentioning. So if you're really struggling and you live near St Mary's Church in the Watch It's area, or near St Martin's Church and you're on the Old Dean, there is a food stall available each Sunday. Look at their social media is the best way to find out the timings. If you're really desperate and you need some help with food, do go down and help yourself.
And the good thing is the weather hasn't been that bad, so that they've been outside. But it's the sense of community, how communities have come together, and it's not just it's not just like in Watch It's and the Old Dean. There are other places which are suffering. So if you have if you have any need or anything in other places around Camberley, then please get in contact with Highcross, and then what we can do is we can then tell you who to contact in that local area.
We can point you in the right direction, so don't suffer unnecessarily. And I think it's been great this Christmas with the amount of Christmas boxes that are going out. I know Beeson have been doing the Christmas hampers, and it's been wonderful to support them. Also, Highcross have sent out Christmas hampers alongside Just for Kids in Camberley to those that we helped during the half term. And also Rotary in Camberley are doing their Christmas boxes that go out to others in need. So it's just a really great community effort. And sorry, I've missed off the All Night Cafe is sending out Christmas parcels to those clients they have that are in need. So it's just helping those that are struggling at this time. And that's so special, isn't it?
And it doesn't matter who you are. And a lot of people, they are they sort of think, well, we're not struggling. We're not struggling, but you are actually struggling, and they're very proud of the fact that who they are. But sometimes you just got to ask for help. No one's going to judge you or anything.
Not at all. And the other one that people struggle with is loneliness at Christmas, isn't it?
Yes. So I know the Rotary are doing their Christmas Day thing, aren't they?
Yeah, I'll just bring up the poster if that's okay.
11 till 1 o'clock on. Oh, here he goes. Here we go.
So I was organised and I had it set up ready. So Surrey Heath Rotary Club are doing a virtual Christmas drop-in on Christmas Day between 11 and 1. If you're alone this Christmas, you don't have to be of a particular age. You can be any age, and you just want to chat to somebody on Christmas Day, drop an email to surreyheathrotary@gmail.com, and we'll send you the link to the Zoom thing.
Yeah, so put your badge on and that, and sit down and have a chat, have your Christmas meal, and then it's the Queen and then James Bond. And that's the Christmas sorted, really.
Hang on, is James Bond on Christmas Day?
Normally, yeah. You haven't got the Radio Times. So.
No, I'm a cheapskate. I've got what's on TV, but it's the only time that we buy it. So let's have a quick look on Christmas Day. What's good? We'll do this next week. Actually, have a look what's on.
Is it on?
Sorry?
Is it on? Is there a James Bond film on? There's got to be somewhere.
My arms aren't long. Arms aren't long enough. There's quite a lot on. I'll tell you what, let's talk about Christmas TV next week. That'd be
yeah. But as a fun fact, did you know that somewhere in the world there's always an episode of Friends playing on TV?
That's really disturbing. The problem is everyone still thinks the characters are the age they are in the Friends episodes. They're now 20 years older.
But Ross still looks the same.
So does Jennifer Aniston. The rest of them have changed quite remarkably.
I know. So,
but the other one with Christmas is all the areas in Surrey Heath are doing the Shines thing, aren't they?
Yes.
So let me just bring that up. So this is the Camberley Shines one. So it's encouraging people to put a star in your window. Yeah. That's a bit posh. Window. The words are going. Do you want to say it?
Yeah. Camberley Shines, put a star in the window, but some people have got trees outside. They put stars on the trees outside. If you haven't got like a glowing star, then do a picture of a star. Just put a star up somewhere in the front of the house. It just means that, you know, Camberley will be shining over Christmas.
And Frimley shines, Farnborough shines. It's happening all over the place. So, but the biggest thing is, certainly in Camberley, take a picture, put it on social media with the hashtag Camberley Shines 2020. And the good one, I just want to show you a picture, because my wonderful daughter helped me make a star that's now shining outside Highcross.
That is an amazing. How is that battery operated?
No, it's plugged into the it's plugged in inside the building.
That is absolutely amazing, isn't it? And
but what's brilliant is I came home and I said to my lovely wife and my daughter, I said, I need a star for outside Highcross. And I said, this is my idea. And all I got was, no, we'll do it. And I went, okay.
When you said a star, I was expecting like something a bit smaller than that. I wasn't expecting anything that size. That was quite phenomenal.
It is. It's 6-foot canes all lashed together. So it's just brilliant. But it's having that, and you can see, you know, from the image behind me, we've got the stars shining in Highcross as well. And if I move to the side, hang on. The problem is you're on the opposite side, aren't you? I'll move that way.
Yeah, move that way. There you go. Oh, look at that.
Oh, I've disappeared.
Oh. You've been covered by your microphone.
You can see the nativity scene as well. So we set up at Highcross for Christmas Day for a limited number of people to come and worship with us. But we will have Christmas services. We've got our carol service this Sunday online, and lots of the local churches and organisations have got carol services online in the coming days. So please do look out for them.
If you can't get online, then don't worry. Obviously, on Christmas Day there will be. You've got songs of praise. You've got carol services. You've got, you know, there's loads and loads of services going on. There
is all sorts. And last night I watched the carols from the House of Commons. So it's normally a private thing just for, you know, MPs and things. But they put it on YouTube, and I have to say it was only 35-minute service, but it was absolutely brilliant.
And also the BBC Breakfast do their carol for carols.
Superb.
In the morning with Carol, the weather girl. They each day they do a carol, and it's actually quite nice in the morning. First thing in the morning, you know, have a nice little carol going.
It sets you up for the day, doesn't it?
It does. It
sets you up for the day. Anyway, I think it's probably time that we let our viewers rest, because we've been going about 45 minutes, which is longer than normal.
And it's going to get longer and longer and longer, isn't it?
Yeah, as we waffle. But we'll see you next week, and yes. we'll put our Christmas finery on. Is that a good idea?
That is a good idea. That is Excellent. A good idea.
And I think next I'm stuttering. What's going on? Next Wednesday at 10 o'clock, we'll talk about not being lonely at Christmas and what's on Christmas TV, and also some of the Christmas services that are coming up in the various churches.
And also, what do you like to eat for Christmas? Because not everyone likes turkey. The other people like, you know, I know some people have curry for Christmas. Some people have Chinese. It's like, yeah.
Absolutely. And I was just going to say, the main thing is, remember, somebody said this to me the other day, remember, turkey is just a big chicken. And it's just, and the Christmas dinner is just a roast dinner. In your mind, don't overplay it for what it is, because otherwise that will cause huge amounts of stress.
It does.
And remember, Christmas, anything's acceptable, especially this year.
Oh, okay. So beans on toast then. All right.
Beans on toast. Oh, you can't beat beans on toast, can you? Oh, I do like beans on toast.
Beans on toast on Christmas Day. Lovely. Right. We will see you all next week.
See you all next week. Keep safe. Bye-bye. God bless. And make sure you wash your hands. Keep your mask on.
And space.
Yep. Take care, people.
Bye.
I've got to remember how to stop the live feed now. You're still here.